Yoru is a very interesting agent in Valorant. He has a lot of potential, but he's not in the best spot right now. Some of his abilities are going to be completely reworked very soon, but before that happens, I'd like to give you a list of 2 tips for all of his abilities. Yoru has a set of abilities that really shines in some circumstances, and once you get the hang of him, he's really rewarding. Red is a YouTuber who is a great example of this. So, in this video, I hope to get you to Red's skill level. Okay, I'm just joking, but still, these tips and tricks will really help you. Alright, starting the video off with his Fake Out. Fake Out is one of those abilities that everybody wants to change, and on a very detailed layer, I can agree. The sound of these footsteps doesn't match any agent in the game. The closest agent I can compare this to is Brimstone's, as it's heavy and deeper, but it has a very strange sound to it that nobody in the game has. It's a really strange sound. I'll let you listen. So even though this ability can be recognized up close as a fake out, it is still a good ability in some circumstances. Faking a sight is a really good one. This is like the only way I use this ability. I mean, not really, but okay, but still. You can easily fake a sight by using all of your fake outs. All of them, and then with it, you can really make someone panic on the enemy team. And next is don't rely on this ability when you're closer to an enemy, because when you're closer, it is easier to recognize, oh yeah, that's a fake out. This won't affect any of your lower elo games or even mid elo, but when you're up in like the Radiant level and all that stuff, this might be something you want to look out for. Next is Yoru's Flash. He has 2 flashes and they can be used in many different ways. First up, the flash is invisible when it's in the air. Only once it hits a surface can it be seen by enemies. So now you don't have to be afraid when you launch your flash across the map, and it'd be useless because the enemies can see it from a mile away. And probably the most indirect but useful tip I can give you, get creative. His flashes work in strange ways, and just a couple minutes in the custom game can be the difference between you always having a crazy and unpredictable lineup, or being completely defenseless. Next is Gate Crash. This is one of the craziest abilities in the game. I have 2 smaller tips that when combined will become something bigger. First up, it can slide against walls. Once it hits a wall at a wide variety of angles, it'll slide against the surface. Next is using the other tip, making lineups. Go to a custom game for a bit and just play around with some of the lineups. I have a pretty simple one on Icebox that's actually really helpful. I slide it right through mid into the other site. And for a little bonus tip, use it to fake people out. Usually when Yoru uses the ability, they tend to use it, like they tend to actually go to where it is. If an enemy sees your gate crash, they'll follow it and wait for you to pop out of nowhere and be like, alright, let's do this thing. Oh hey. So use it to fake enemies out, and use it to add pressure to enemies. And finally, the ultimate. Yoru's ultimate is really cool, but it's limited. You can't see very far, enemies can see you, and you're on a timer. First up, I have a way that you can see further with his ultimate. Just look up or down. It's like Viper's ultimate. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know this by now, but if you're in Viper's ultimate, you can see farther by just looking down like knee level or looking up like over head level. You can actually see a lot farther. It's really interesting. And the same goes with Yoru. You can see a lot farther depending on the angle you're looking. Next is there's a little ring around you when you're in your ultimate. People who are in that zone can see you, and people outside of it can't. But all people can hear you, not your footsteps, but like a weird like electrical noise almost. I don't know, it's weird. So try to get used to that zone and stay away from people, because the second an enemy sees you, you're basically done unless you can really get out of there. Maybe even try to stay away from tight angles and areas, as they can be a hot spot for running into people. Let's just say that. So, what are your thoughts on Yoru? I have a lot of hours on Yoru, and knowing a couple of these has really helped, to be honest. What are some of your tips? I hope you have a great day, and remember, life is short. Play great games.